Boss, updated winds are 200 at 12. We own the airfield and airspace. You are cleared for takeoff. Have a good one. Cleared for takeoff. Check your bunker brake off. Check your transect. Check your nozzle steering on maneuver. Down and burner go. A low transition. Right turnout. 80. And out clear up 16. Let's run them up.
It's Scuttlebutt Radio with your hosts, Tom Claxton and Cal Walters. Radio for veterans by veterans. To get on the line, call 343-0106 now.
Well, they're on break, but I told them I said I want to confuse the issue.
And welcome back, and thank you for joining us tonight on the Scuttlebutt Network radio program, a voice of the veterans for the veterans on 106.5 FM and firing the shots heard around the world at scuttlebuttnetwork.com. I'm Cal Walters here with Tom Claxton. We're glad that you've joined us to discuss the issues facing our veterans today. Our number is 343-0106 or 866-983-2777 to join in the discussion. And, hey, you can check us out on Facebook. We've got information on the event that we're about to talk about is on our Facebook page. You can also follow me on Twitter. It's at Cal_SEN.
Colonel, Joe Adams, it's a pleasure to have you on board here with us tonight. And I understand that you were a private investigator and in service for 26 years and reached the rank of colonel.
Hey, Ray. Hey, thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, it's a blessing. Looks like you have a little various government agencies that you work for, FBI, DEA, and CIA.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I want to be around you or not. You might, you might find something I've done wrong.
That's what my neighbors say.
Yeah, I don't know about him. He'd be looking at things he don't need to be looking at. But, Colonel, it's a pleasure to have you on board here with us tonight. I know that in 2008 you also founded the Project Blue Light. Would you give us a little insight about what that is?
Yeah, what happened was when I finally retired, I went down to the border, Arizona border, and because I had been one of the only dry climate trainers for our military when we first went to the Mideast back in '81, and I fell in love with the desert, so I went down to look at the border issue, what's going on down there, and it was just ridiculous about what's coming across the border and how understaffed our border patrol was, and so I opened Operation Blue Light in 2008 and got with some spec op guys and in Army, Air Force, Navy, and we went out and did some special operations and coordinated our efforts with the United States Border Patrol and offered them intelligence and coordinated their efforts on the United States border, and we've been doing that ever since. And so we've been directly, and we flew under the radar for years. Okay, it's only been in the last 2 or 3 years that people actually knew we were down there.
Right.
And so we've been responsible for the direct apprehension of almost 10,000 people entering this country illegally for illegal reasons.
Right.
And then something happened here recently. We've developed that because of the slave trade and the human trafficking, we've actually morphed more into that now than anything, and I've joined a company in the United States out of Boca Raton, Project Blue Light has, with global intelligence on human trafficking, specializing in that. And so this whole thing has really grown and gotten really big. And then last year I was honored at this banquet that's coming up, this ceremony is coming up, this Heroes of Freedom's Award banquet. It's in your town. I'm coming down to this week in Mobile.
Right.
And I was honored. I mean, come on. They give me an award last year with 2 Medal of Honor winners. I mean, come on.
Good gracious.
Talk about a humbling.
Hey, that's strong, isn't it, Colonel?
It's because of my work on the border.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm coming back down as make an appearance this year. But this ceremony they have down there in Mobile is incredible. I mean, this year we've got 6 Medal of Honor recipients and all kinds of folks coming in for this.
It is really unbelievable.
From USS Alabama.
Yeah. This big event is going to be only the second one of its kind that's ever been held, and it's headed to Mobile and Battleship Park. The Heroes for Freedom and Liberty event is set for September the 7th at the Aircraft Pavilion at the Battleship Park, which is an awesome facility within itself. It will feature 4 recipients of the Medal of Honor, and that's strong. Old Herschel Woody Williams, a survivor of the Battle of Iwo Jima during World War II, old jarhead. Alabama native Benny Atkins, a Vietnam-era Medal of Honor recipient. Navy veteran and Medal of Honor recipient Donald Doc Ballard, and Medal of Honor recipient Robert Patterson of Pensacola, which is very close to us, and he'll also be there. But
unbelievable. And the movie Hacksaw Ridge,
right?
The gentleman that featured in that, his son will be sitting at my table, receiving his award.
Awesome. Now, which one are we talking about?
The star of Hacksaw Ridge.
Okay.
With the recent movie by Mel Gibson.
Okay. All right. But this event is designed to make sure that those have served, and particularly the guys that have served in harm's way, are properly remembered and properly recognized. So, our local representative, spokesman Pete Ream, which also has a show on this station as well, he'll be on tomorrow night. But he's kind of one of the front runners that helped put this on. So that's just unbelievable that all's going on. And as I say, you're going to be there. So here we go. Your name hadn't even been advertised yet. So we're getting some secret info here.
Well, this is a very humbling experience for me because of the people I surround myself with. I know a lot of the Medal of Honor recipients, and they're friends of mine. Like Woody is
Williams.
Yeah, he's the last sole survivor of Iwo Jima, a Medal of Honor recipient.
I read his bio this afternoon, and he's talking about going out in front of a tank with a flamethrower, and he goes out and he takes out all of these bunkers and all this stuff. He runs out of product in his flamethrower and plasma, whatever they shoot out of that thing. I never had to handle one of those, thank God. I just had a BAR. But then he comes back and he gets reloaded again. He goes back out 4 or 5 times doing this.
I mean, you talk about courage.
Well, it's neat.
I've deployed 5 times, but I really can't say that I've ever been in that serious situation. Oh, it's Desmond Doss. Okay. He was the star of the movie Hacksaw Ridge.
Okay.
So Desmond Doss is, and of course, a Medal of Honor recipient. He saved 75 people.
Oh yes. Okay.
So, in the Hacksaw Ridge. So I don't know if
unbelievable.
The movie, but anyway, Desmond Doss is going to be there sitting at my table. His son is going to be there, receiving his award. This is a great honor for me and all the other veterans.
Yes, that is totally unbelievable. And it's like Woody Williams was given the Medal of Honor in '45. It didn't take them long to get his.
Right.
I see a lot of these guys take 20, 30 years, 40 years.
Yeah. I was nominated last year for the Civilian Medal of Honor, so I told my wife, you'll probably get that after I'm long gone.
That's a damn shame, ain't it, Colonel?
I don't care. It's all right.
All right. Hey, you got it. That's all that counts.
Yeah. So.
But that's just unbelievable to know that we've got this awesome event coming to the Mobile area, and to have it at Battleship Park. And that big, humongous building over there, it's a damn hangar full of all kind of World War II and all kind of planes, just about anything that you would be interested in seeing over there. So it's just going to be unbelievable. There'll be some additional information out here in the next week about this, but I understand also, Colonel, that we're going to have the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, is going to be here, Energy Secretary Rick Perry, musicians Jeff Skunk Baxter, Eric Horner, and Steve Papati, whoever that is, Turner.
There might be a couple other surprise attendees. I can't disclose because these guys are celebrities and their schedules are very complicated.
Oh, sure.
There's a few more. I mean, they're still trying to get Mel Gibson there, who produced Hacksaw Ridge.
That would be awesome.
Oh yeah.
And if he could work it into his schedule, he's the kind of guy he'll show up.
I know. Listen. So last year at the recipient's ceremony, my wife and I attend. This is, of course, is the first one, and they had this display of airplanes on the tarmac. Right.
Right.
The plane that I flew in Laos was sitting there.
Oh my goodness.
And so I looked at her and I went, "You're not going to believe this, sweetheart. That's my plane.
Holy!
I flew that reconnaissance plane right there." She's going, "How do you know that's the plane?" I go, "Believe me, that's the plane." So I go in and we find out who owns this aircraft, and they go, "Oh, that was one of the CIA aircraft in Laos. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know, fool.
It was sitting right there.
Yeah. Huh. That is so
This
unbelievable.
is an amazing event. Amazing. It's just, I mean, it gives me goosebumps to even think about even attending these things.
Oh, yeah.
Great, heroic men who did things for our country above and beyond.
That is just totally unbelievable. But the big thing about it is that this is also it's a fundraiser in support of the Military Warrior Support Foundation, which will also be recognized because they have provided 800 homes to wounded veterans over the past 10 years at no cost. Yes. 800 homes. Can you imagine how much money that is?
That's roger that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Unbelievable. But that's neat, Colonel. It's awesome to have had you on here with us tonight. It's really neat to see all of this happening. Are you going to be in town more than 1 day or 2 days on this?
I have a heavy schedule where I'm involved in some let's just say some movie things were going on, so I have to fly in, attend the facilities, and fly back out, unfortunately.
Okay. So you're not going to tell us what kind of movie you got?
No, I have a contract, so I can't do that.
Hey, man, don't mess with the money. Don't mess with the money, Colonel.
Don't mess with the money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Show me the money. Yeah,
God bless you, brother, and it's been a blessing to have you on. We appreciate your service, and we appreciate you working with us, and I hope I see you in the movie.
Okay, well, I'll give you a call later on in the year, and maybe we'll do another show.
Hey,
okay?
We can do that.
Because I can tell you some cool shit.
All right. You were on the right damn show.
All right, thank you.
All right, Colonel. Have a blessed one.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. Can you believe that? Here's the guy.
That's just
unbelievable, isn't it, Cal?
Yeah, just a great story, and it's a great event. Now, I will tell you this. We do have information on tickets on our Facebook page. The tickets are $250 a piece, but the concept is that it is supposed to be a significant fundraiser for the Military Warrior Support Foundation. If they're cranking out 800 homes in 10 years, there's got to be some funding to do that for our wounded warriors. Great program, great venue, Tom, and obviously a great opportunity to meet really some living history.
Yes, it is. Unbelievable. I'd like to meet that Woody Williams, that Ewok guy.
Well,
you know. Ooh.
And you know, when you think about the stories that these men have to tell, it's humbling, Tom.
Yes, it
is. Really is humbling to hear the stories of what these men did. Not thinking about winning the Medal of Honor, Tom. They were out there taking care of the guy to their left and guy to their right.
Right, they did it.
And just trying to come home.
Yes.
Hey, on the other side of the break, you can always get more information on the stories at the Stack and our Facebook page. But on the other side of the break, Tom's tirade on allegiances. All that and more when we return to the Scuttlebutt Network.
The brave men of the Green Beret.
Is your Medicare Advantage plan not meeting your needs? Did your plan remove your doctor from its network or add a monthly premium or Part D deductible? If so, call Viva Medicare today to learn how a Medicare Advantage plan from Viva Medicare may better suit you and your health needs. Simply call 1-888-830-8482 today. That's 1-888-830-8482. TTY users call 711. Our hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, or you can visit us online at makingmedicareeasy.com. When was the last time you visited America's most unique military attraction? Not sure where it is? Well, it's right here in Mobile Bay. USS Alabama Battleship Memorial Park, home to the World War II hero battleship USS Alabama, and also America's oldest existing submarine, the USS Drum. See more than 24 historic aircraft from the last 7 decades, plus boats, tanks, memorials, and other exhibits to all branches of the U.S. Armed Forces. Located on Mobile Bay, I-10, exits 27 or 30. Open at 8 a.m. daily except Christmas Day. USS Alabama Battleship Memorial Park, where memories are made.
May not necessarily represent the views or opinions of this station, but they're coming around. What is your major malfunction? And now, the original pork-eating crusader,
Mr. Tom Claxton.
Most listeners to SPN know that I, the old Top Cat, am more likely to comment on NASCAR than the National Football League. But recent events in the sanctuary city by the bay have me ready to start my engines and give you my 2 cents worth Okay, it might be a little bit more. And some of you may be wondering why I, as someone whose sports connections relate more to the men and a couple of women who turn left than the overpaid, coddled, and cuddled, union-protected pansies who have made their way out of college football into the NFL, which was once known as the National Football League, but which these days might want to be more correctly named the National Football League. And so, dear listener, you may be wondering exactly why I am wading into the realm of football when this is a show about veterans and military issues. Well, that's exactly why I'm speaking up. Because what is being allowed to happen in America's most popular sport is not only disturbing, but is also indicative of what might be coming, albeit forcefully, to a stadium near you. For those of you more interested in the World Cup or the Lingerie Bowl, I am speaking very directly about the members of the National Football League who have taken to dishonoring our national anthem when it is played before football games, and the basket of malcontents who support them. Most notably is San Francisco benchwarmer and soon-to-be has-been Colin Kaepernick. Kaepernick's decision not to stand during the playing of the national anthem to protest what he calls perceived racial issues, I notice he's not spending none of his millions and millions of dollars to help, has created more controversy than the video of Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton's doing the wobble upon her exit on a 9/11 ceremony.
Let me see your chest.
Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah.
Most folks in the know will realize that this is not the first time that a sports figure has opted out of standing for the national anthem. At least 2 decades ago, you find a similar act of athletic defiance against the national anthem. It came from an NBA player, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. Abdul-Rauf, born Chris Jackson in very close to home Gulfport, Mississippi, decided to convert to Islam in 1993 at the age of 24, the climax of a spiritual journey that began while reading the autobiography of Malcolm X in college. So I guess this answers the questions for all of you fence sitters about whether the Koran or the Constitution takes precedence. Just ask the converts. On March the 10th, 1996, Chris Jackson, identified as Abdul-Rauf, sat down in the middle of the anthem. After the game, he told reporters that he considered the flag a symbol of oppression of tyranny, and that he would continue to refuse to stand for the anthem. I am a Muslim first and a Muslim last, Abdul-Rauf said. My duty is to my Creator, not to nationalistic ideology. Chris Jackson faded into obscurity, getting traded during the 96-97 to the Sacramento Kings and finishing out his career for the moribund Vancouver Grizzlies. Which leads us to the legacy of Colin Kaepernick, which will likely be one of the irrelevance and eventual decline into NFL obscurity. Kaepernick, a former 49 star, who will not start at quarterback for the team this season, drew strong reactions for his refusal to stand for the Star-Spangled Banner during several preseason games this year, and continued to do so during the 49ers opening game, which the 49ers won handily with Kaepernick but hurt on the bench. Kaepernick has said his protest is not an affront to the military, but that he's trying to support people that are oppressed.
Will you shut up? Now we see the violence inherent in the system. Shut up! Oh, come and see the violence inherent in the system. Help, help, I'm being repressed. Bloody peasant. Oh, what a giveaway. Did you hear that? Eh? That's what I'm on about. Do you see him repressing me? You saw it, didn't you?
He said he'll end the sit-down when I feel like the flag represents what it's supposed to represent, which leads to the question of just what does the flag represent? For most of the rest of the world and patrons here at home, the Stars and Stripes has been a banner which has brought with it freedom from oppression regimes such as Hitler and Nazi Germany, Mussolini and fascist Italy, the fanatical regime of Imperial Japan, the Soviet Union, Communist China, and the list goes on and on. Most recently, the people of Iraq and Afghanistan from Saddam Hussein and the Taliban, respectively. Which leads to the greater question, which irrelevance such as Kaepernick never seem to get asked. Can you give listeners specifics on just who is being oppressed and specifically, how are they being oppressed? And while the Constitution represented by the same flag and national anthem that you want to dishonor actually gives you the right to show your ass, or should it be sit on your ass on national television, what makes you in any way qualified to conduct such a protest? Based on your life story, you are the ultimate example of the American dream. A biracial baby, you were adopted by two white parents who raised you in privilege, attending the University of Nevada because you could throw a damn football. And while concerns about your throwing accuracy were raised, the San Francisco 49ers selected you in the second round of the 2011 NFL Draft, a choice they no doubt might be questioning at this point. You didn't earn your spot as a 49ers starting quarterback. You stole it when Alex Smith, the team's number one quarterback in 2012, was forced to sit out late in the year as a result of a concussion. And while your star has continued to fade ever since, Alex Smith has shown the consistency that earned him his starting spot. However, as far as I'm concerned, I hope that you continue to sit as in ride the bench until the 49ers trade you to some team desperate enough to pick up the pieces of your shattered career. Because while you may have an exceptional arm, your utterances about oppression and change show that you are nothing more than another example of pop star privilege. Most notably, the presumption of intellectual superiority over the very people that have elevated you to your position. Like many before you, your star, like your arm strength, will fade into obscurity. However, the greatest tragedy that is you're sitting on your butt during the anthem to stop oppression of blacks and minorities is truly an insult to those who fought to give your privileged ilk the right to protest. Most importantly, the blacks and minorities who gave their lives to defense of this country so that your worthless ass can carry your carcass on the bench. For the Scuttlebutt Network, this is Tom Claxton. And I stand with a basket of deplorables who stand up for this country.
Where's your drill sergeant, men?
Hold up, sir! Hold up, sir!
So am I to understand that you men completed your training on your own?
That's the fact, Jack! That's the fact, Jack!
These are exactly the kind of men I want working on the Scuttlebutt Network.
Boom, shakalaka, boom, shakalaka, boom, shakalaka.
And welcome back to the Scuttlebutt Network radio program, a voice of the veterans for the veterans on 106.5 FM and streaming live on scuttlebuttnetwork.com. Along with Tom Claxton and Cal Walters, a couple old Marines with just a little bit to say, the First Amendment right to say it and the fighting spirit to keep it. And, you know, Tom, that tirade was done a year ago about this
right.
time.
I hate to say it, but we told you so.
You did kind of nail that one. And you know, Tom, I've seen postings and comments from folks that have said, yeah, you know, you absolutely have the right to kneel, and we love the NFL, but we love our flag more, and guess
right.
what? We're not going to be watching.
Right. That's so damn true.
And I think, you know, it's just a slap in the face to all of those, you know, we're talking about these Medal of Honor recipients
right.
from World War II, but
right.
it's a slap in the face to all of those who have died regardless of their
sure.
skin color, so that they can have the freedom
right.
to be
hundreds of thousands of troops have died fighting for that damn flag, and he's not going to recognize it? Come on.
Well, and Tom, I think it's part of the larger picture. You know, I think we played the tirade last week, where you talked about the fact that, you know, when they start taking down Confederate statues,
right.
where is it going to end?
Where's it going to stop?
Somebody might be offended by the U.S. flag, and
right.
we see that now.
Yes, that's next. American flag.
Until somebody just puts their foot down and says, no, we're going to stop this now, we're going to stop
right.
the lunacy, the Constitution does not guarantee you the right to not be offended.
Right. Well, that has to do with some of our judges that we've had that make some stupid laws in the past.
Well, not just in the past, but even to today, Tom,
right.
they're still doing some of that stuff. And like I said, it's just a slap in the face to all those who have fought and died for the freedom for these people to be idiots. But a great show. Remember, the information on the event coming up on the 7th is on our Facebook page. You can go there for more information. And that's going to bring us to the close of tonight's edition of the Scuttlebutt Network radio program, the voice of the veterans for the veterans. We thank you for joining us. Hope you'll join us again soon. Keep our warriors in your prayers, especially those in harm's way. God be with them. God bless America. Remember, hero is not a four-letter word. We'll catch you on the other side.
Hoorah!